I recorded Sean in his school some years ago for the radio programme 96 103 FM's Correct, and I also recorded in other places as well, including his own home, where we did a special programme there. Travelled with Sean to Monaghan and other various places as well, and he's been featured in the Cork Storytelling Festival several times, and believe it or not, he's featured again this year by sheer demand, really, and you'll see his photograph up there on the Cork Storytelling brochure. We'll be telling you more about that later on. In the meantime, anyway, give a big rousing welcome to Sean O'Shea, the Pucker.
Yes, good evening. I'm not too good tonight. I pulled a muscle in my leg and I can hardly walk. You really don't need your leg to tell stories. Do we all understand English? Yes. Good. Is there anybody here? Because I get this awful feeling sometimes when you're in a club like this and you're holidaymakers and things like that, that you're sounding like double Dutch to some people down there, and if that were me, I'd be very annoyed. But anyway, we do the best we can. Most of my life, I was a school teacher, and nobody made me show when I was young. I went to Cumhola School, as Bob said, and Cumhola School was your stereotype two-teacher school. Herself had small babies, high babies, first, second and third. And himself, to whom herself was usually married, if she didn't capture the local guard, had fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and lads with beards that we waited to do the exam from the post office. And there we were on the first day of September 1947, a Monday morning, totally depressed because Kilkenny, the bastards, had beaten Cork the day before by a point in the All-Ireland. August Kehannig Stachan Doris, who came in the door but the inspector, and a big black bag by him, and he planted the bag down on the table, and he turned to us and he said, "We'll start with sums." In America you'd call it math, isn't it? I think, mathematics. And there is nothing worse on a Monday morning when you were kind of depressed than sums. And his first question was, how do you divide 25 potatoes, spuds, equally between 3 boys and have no spud left over? And of course, it can't be done. You're either short a spud or you have 2 spuds too many. And there we were with our hands inside in our pockets, and we using it like an abacus, the best abacus you'd ever have. You wanted to count up to 11, and we still couldn't manage it. How could you divide 25 potatoes? And the next thing, there was a hand went up down the back of the class, a boy called Dinny. And you would get the like of Dinny in any school in Ireland. He'll come to you for a week after the summer holidays, and then they'll start digging the spuds and you won't see him anymore. Until after the Easter holidays, and he'll come to you for a week then until they start the early ploughing. And the next day you will see him, which was what happened in this case, is the day the inspector will come in. The hand went up. Who was it? Dinny. And the inspector said, "Do you mean to tell me," he said, "that you can divide 25 potatoes equally between 3 boys and have no spud left over?" "I can, sir," says Dinny. "Mash 'em." He said, "You are a very clever boy. Stand up there," he said. "I'll give you a question all to yourself." And he asked Dinny, "How many 13s in 39? And then he said 4. And the inspector said, "Try again." And then he said 6. And he said, "Come on, keep at it." And then he said 8. And the next thing, in desperation, there was Dinny at the bottom. Here was the inspector. And behind him was the unfortunate teacher, who happened, as Bob said, to be my father. And teachers can be devious. What did he do? He put up his hand like that to give Dinny the signal that there were 3 13s in 39. The 3-fingered sign as opposed to the 2-finger sign. And the next thing, the inspector said to Dinny, "Come on," he said, "try once more." And says, "Dinny, you're asked the teacher." He had his hand up there behind him. He said, "I'll give you one more test mathematics. If it is 3 miles from Ballylickey to Bantry and 9 miles from Bantry to Drumleague and 14 miles from Drumleague to Dunmanway and 20 miles from Dunmanway to Bandon, 20 more to Cork, 19 to Fermoy, 6 to Mitchelstown, 16 to Cale and 100 more miles to Dublin, and I drive a black Ford prefect car with 40 more tyres and a reconditioned engine on HMI. I'm telling you, that put us thinking. And the hand went up. Who was it?
Diddy.
And the inspector said, have you got it again? And Denny said, I have. And the inspector said, what age am I? And he said, I swear to God Almighty, you're 44. The inspector said, you got it. First time. How in the name of God did you do that? Simple, says Denny. I have an older brother at home, Paddy, and he's 22, and he's half a fucking idiot. Okay,
You understand.